Hey guys, welcome back to Shooters Academy. Today we're going to talk about something that is very special to all of us in the hunting or shooting industry. Okay, a chronograph. It's a critical piece of equipment that we as shooters, whether that be archery or rifle, it's a critical piece of equipment for us because it allows us to understand our equipment better. Okay. When I'm talking about a chronograph, I'm wanting to know my feet per second, whether that be an arrow. Okay. And I'm wanting to know how fast that arrow is traveling because then I can start to look at my FOC or front of center, and then I can start to understand how much impact I'm going to get downrange. Okay. It's also just as critical for shooters. Any type of projectile, whether that be pistol or long range, such as my case. Okay. So when we use a chronograph, we are looking at how fast that projectile is traveling downrange. Okay. We want to know that because that allows us to gain an understanding of how far we can go by using some other equipment that we have. Okay. We can dial our scope up. We can then reach out to distance because we're starting to arc even more as we're getting into that projectile. All right. So chronographs, man, they've come a long ways. Even the ones that I had, you guys remember these where you got to have the shades up here. You could actually buy the auxiliary lights because if you didn't have good sun, then this thing had a problem. Always through an air code, right? You old school guys remember this. Always through an air code. If you weren't out in the best sun condition when you're shooting your bow and arrow, man, you just had a heck of a time getting at feet per second. Okay, so we've come a long way in the industry, guys. I've been using this magneto speed for a little while now, and I've got to say I'm very happy. There's a lot of advantages to the magneto speed, but there's also some disadvantages, okay? For those of you not familiar with the magneto speed, this is the V3. What happens is this goes on the end of your barrel, okay? Firearm is empty. This goes on the end of your barrel out here and sticks out, and the projectile flies across the top of it, okay? You've got some pads in here that allow for thickness variations in your muzzle brake or the taper on your muzzle or the suppressor, which brings me to my problem that I was having. I shoot a special kind of suppressor, not special, but I shoot a certain kind of suppressor that based on where I get the best results for this, okay? Based on where I get the best results, I have a hard time getting this magneto speed set up, okay? This is just a barrel, all right? So you put this in here. You know, it's really nice to have that barrel in such that the projectile can obviously fly over it. There's a magnet in here, right, that it understands how fast that projectile is traveling. What I was running into is that whenever you set this up, it comes with a tool like you see here. This is supposed to set here, okay, when you're setting this up, right? And this is going to touch the bottom of your muzzle, okay? This is not a review on magneto speed. This is just a quick version. Well, what I was running into is that because of the suppressor I use, it has a wider lip. I was always getting a little bit of a cant up on my magneto speed. Now, while I could get some accurate speeds with it, it caused me a bit of a problem. And I don't know that you guys can see that, but I had a couple strikes on this, okay? Didn't hurt this unit at all. It just grazed it ever so slightly. Then it threw it all off. I still was able to get speed, but accuracy was definitely hindered. So this has been the unit. I love this unit. This has been the one I've been using for quite some time now. It has helped me in my long range endeavor, learning how to shoot long range, guys. I'm learning just like you are. Okay. So let's rewind a few days, and something new came out on the market. Yep. You guys probably already know what I'm talking about. I got it in the mail today. All right. I've opened it. This is all I've done was I pulled out the packing to see what it was. Okay. I've got something special that I am super excited about. All right. Who needs packing? You guys are going to get to open the box with me for the first time. All right. The new Garmin. The new Garmin Zero C1 Pro chronograph. Okay. I've not opened this box yet. I was made aware of these the last match I shot was at Gap Grind where they had these. I did not get to shoot these. However, I was able to go by the booth and get to see these. Okay. So these are starting to hit homes everywhere. I no more than got the email from where I was going to purchase this. 5 minutes later, I went online and it was sold out. So then I went over to another website, sold out. I actually had to go to Garmin. I went to Garmin and was able to order one of these off the website. Shipping was pretty good. From the time I ordered till it arrived about an hour ago, you're looking at about 6 days. Okay. So I'm going to get you in closer so that you can get above me here, and we're going to open the box. I have not opened it. We're going to open the box, take a look at it together. So let's do it. All right, here we are. Got you set up on above it. Now, listen, I told you I have not had this thing open at all. So this is going to be the very first time we see it open and you are with me. Okay. I think their packaging is done really well. Okay. You know, it's unique because they say zero on here, but Garmin has a zero bow scope range finding combination. So their zero line deals with, I'm assuming, finding distance and things like that. So I mean, listen, when I tell you this thing is small, right? I don't have very many hands, or very big hands. Here's a pocket knife as an example. Man, I'm quite excited about this. Okay. So let's just set that right there. It comes with a little tripod, which we'll try this out tomorrow on the range, but I'm not going to be using this very much. I'll show you what I'm going to be using when I'm shooting this. Here you get your UBC charger. Okay, so that just plugs in right here so that you can charge the unit. Okay, and then lastly, we get our instructions. Now, I am a huge proponent on reading the instructions, so I'm actually going to go through this before I go to the range tomorrow. So this is what you get whenever you get this unit. So it's not a lot of stuff. Now I am going to throw something in here in just a minute that I'll show you, but we're not going to do it as of yet. Okay. So yeah, it's a nice little unit, small in size. Okay. Now your information on the back. Let's see if you can see that. From 100 to 5,000 feet per second, and the velocities that it can measure. Okay. It's going to ask you a question in here whenever you're shooting. So it likes to know, what, turning it on for the first time. We are going to do, it's got an OK button on top. Here, let me take this off so that you guys can see it better. Okay. We want English. Let's look at the different options. It has, so it's got an OK or enter button. It's got your power up and down, okay? So select the unit. This way you can kind of see all the different ones, okay? Now, obviously, we're going to go feet per second, so now I'm going to hit the OK button. Do you want to pair your device to a phone? I will do that, but I am going to skip it for now just so I can kind of allow you to go through. I got to actually download the app and do that. So we'll do that next, okay? So let's skip it for now. Setup is complete. Man, that's pretty simple. New setting. So here is our settings, okay? So we can go in here. Looks like you can do your units per second, your display color, you can change that. Backlight, pro settings. I don't really know what all these are, but we're going to get it figured out, okay? Let's go into pro settings. Grain weight entry and alignment diagrams. All right, we'll look at that. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna go through the manual. Okay, now you get into a screen and you want to go back. You simply just tap the power button. All right. Now, guys, I'm telling you, I'm just kind of learning this as I go. All right. I did watch some videos, but on people that had them. X-Ring gave us a good video on it. New session. So let's hit that, see what it says. Now, here is where this unit is going to come in handy for so many people. Rifle, pistol, bow, wannabe shooters. No, I'm just playing, guys. Your air rifle and other. I don't know what other is, but we're going to do rifle. Now, it's going to ask me, what is my range? Are we going subsonic? Well, it actually goes a little more than subsonic, but 600 to 1,700 feet per second or faster, 1,700 up. I know what mine shoots. Mine shoots on average about 2950-ish. So I know it's going to be that. All right, then I'll just hit OK. Now it's telling me 5 to 15 inches left and right from the barrel, okay, and 5 to 15 inches up and back from the muzzle, okay. And then we shoot, which we're going to get out on the range and do that. So this is what comes in the box. Now, the reason I say I'm going to try this tomorrow, but I'm not really going to use this is because Area 419, man, I'm going to tell you what, I'm a huge proponent of Area 419. They created an Arc-a-Lock rail so that this can mount right to the rifle. All right. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I want it on the rifle. Okay. So this, just like you're mounting a camera. Okay. Because of how mine sits, I need to rotate it this way. So now your Garmin is mounted up and going to fit right on the rifle. This is what you're going to see on the range tomorrow. Let's do it. All right, guys, let's talk about the setup. First of all, okay, make sure the firearm's empty. What I always do when it comes to the firearm, I like to rack that bowl a couple times. Now, just so happen you can also, what you should visually inspect, but the way I'm holding the camera, you can visually inspect with me. Nothing in the chamber. All right, so this is my competition rifle. I'm shooting a 6GT here. I just put a new Cahalis scope on it. We're gonna do another review on that later. Okay, but here you see the Garmin sitting on it. Now, when you see this Garmin, okay, it sits on the Arca rail. So no matter how you move the rifle, all right, it's gonna stay there. Spin it around. Okay, before anybody asks, the reason this is like this is because I shoot suppressed, but I don't keep the suppressor on it all the time. I usually have a thread protector on here. But this is what we got. Basically, this Arca rail here just takes the place of the tripod. Pretty easy. Tomorrow we'll get out and shoot it and see what it does. All right, guys, today we're going to put some rounds downrange on our Garmin Chronograph. We are going to get it set up using the Arca rail, and then we're also going to use the tripod that comes with it and kind of see which one works best here on the range. We're going to be using two different types of rifles today. This little guy you see here, okay, is my daughter's 308. We really only shoot subsonics out of it. We're also going to be using the 6 GT, so let's get to it. All right, guys, we are on the range today trying out the Garmin. We're going to set this thing up and we are going to shoot 5 rounds, okay? So as you can see, we're going to do new session. We are doing a rifle. It is between that area. Now, here's the thing. I'm not really set up 5 to 15 inches from the muzzle, but we're going to give it a shot. Here we go. First round downrange. $29.70. It only registered 1 shot. We're out. Okay, so there you saw that one of the things you run into when having it stationary on your firearm or attached to the firearm like I have it here is that it detects movement. It does not like the movement, but there you go. Next, we're going to take it off here and set it up on the little tripod that comes with it. Okay, now we've got it set up on the tripod, okay? We are going to fire 5 more rounds through this thing with it on the tripod. Now, last session, it only caught 4 of the 5. Now, as I told you, I was more than 15 inches away from the muzzle, so I wonder if that has something to do with it. Okay, so we are going to see. All right. I'm not going to reset the shot counter or anything. I am just going to fire some rounds and let's see how it does. There we go. So we got all 5 of those shots. So we just fired 10 shots. Yes, I said 10 shots, okay? I know that says 9, but I did fire 10. It just didn't register one of them. Okay, So here we see our active shot. That's the current shot we're on. That's the 9th shot. It shows our feet per second. All right, over on this side of the screen, it shows us our minimum. On this side, it shows our maximum. And here, of the 9 shots, it shows our average. We can look at shot list. End our session. Let's go back up here. Let's go. I'm just kind of looking at all the different ones. Let's go to shot list, see what that does. Here it shows our all 9 shots, and it shows our deviation from average. I'm assuming what that is. Now we are shooting match ammo here, so it's not going to be as. Let's go session summary. Is that what I was just in? Oh no, there we go. Ooh, I like this. Okay, didn't know this was here. Again, this is the first time I've ever shot this thing. Standard deviation, 19.3 feet per second. That's some really good information. I like that. Extreme spread. Okay. I think that's going to be my favorite screen because that gives me, the best information possible. Okay. Now we're going to go down. Obviously, you can change your brightness. Okay. 75 and 100. Now, when you do this, just know that it's going to kind of wear your battery down. All right, we can pause, or in this case, we're going to end our session. And now we're back to the setting, okay? Okay, this time we're going to shoot some reloads. I'm testing out a new load on my 6GT. So, let's get it set up. Rifle, that's where I should be. Yep, we're good on that. Here we go. I'm shooting at 300 yards, but I'm not really interested in as far as where I'm hitting right now. I'm more interested in feet per second. It went right in the middle of the hole. Okay, so these are, let me clear and make safe. These are reloads. Trying to get my reloads dialed in. So, as we saw earlier, let's go into, oops. Let's go into shot session. .33 feet per second on my extreme spread. It's really cold out here, so my barrel is not warm yet. A standard deviation of 11.3. That's pretty good for reloading my own ammo. All right, we're going to get set up, and we're going to put some accurate rounds down range and see how we do. All right, we're going to try 5 shots here at 100 yards. And we're looking for more accuracy now. Okay. I've got a new load development that I'm trying out. Here we go. Five shots. Let's see what our speeds are now. All right, I have fired. See if you can see it here. I have fired 20 rounds out of this thing. in this series. So let's go down to the session summary. Now this is important for me in my reloading endeavors, and I hope you could see that. But here we're talking about a deviation of 12.9, extreme spread of 52 feet per second, okay? Now, I went 20 rounds from cold to warm barrel, but I'm quite happy with that for reloading brass. Yeah, I think it did really well. Okay, now we're looking at a 308 shooting subsonic rounds. Okay, this is my daughter's hunting rifle. And as you can see, we've got the Arcalock attachment rail connected onto her stock. 200 yards. Good job. 200 yards. Do it again, babe. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, you're on target. Okay. Slowly pull the trigger. Stay there. Stay there. Stay there. Stay there. Are you on?
I am.
Slowly pull the trigger. Stay there. Stay there. You do it. Oh! Good job. You still on?
Yeah.
You got one more, I think. Slowly pull the trigger when you're on. Give me 5.
300 yards.
Go for it. Impact. 300 yards. We've put about probably 100 rounds through this thing today. And I'm going to tell you what, I'm pleasantly surprised. For me, the biggest thing is ease of use. It is so simple to set up. I liked my magneto, but it was just cumbersome. It was difficult to set up and difficult to get readings every time. So, guys, I'm going to give this a 10 out of 10 on setup. So easy to get set up. Something else I learned when I'm using the Arca rail, okay, and it's sitting on here, when it's getting time to shoot, and when you move it, you're adjusting your rifle, it'll throw you a warning telling you that it's feeling movement. Now, that didn't affect anything because right before I shot, obviously, I was still, so it worked out really well. On the tripod itself, I had no issues with movement for obvious reasons. It's sitting on the ground. I tested it beyond 15 inches behind my muzzle, and it still worked really well. As I mentioned in the beginning, I looked at 6GT, which is shooting about 2970, depending on reloads versus match ammo. I also put about my daughters also put about 40 rounds of factory subsonic ammunition through it. It got every one of them on the subsonics. It missed 1 or 2 on my 6GT because, as I mentioned, I had it set too far back from my rifle. So, guys, I'm gonna tell you what. Yeah, it's more than the magneto, almost twice as much. This freaking thing is well worth it. Way easier to set up, way easier to operate. And as you saw, man, I can look through the different shots lists and I can look at my extreme spreads, my standard deviations, stuff I need to know as a reloader. This is going to change the game on chronographs. Lightweight, even if you are using the Arca rail. It is so nice. I put it on this subsonic. I went through some lessons on teaching my daughters how to shoot. They know how to shoot, but I always reiterate how to, muzzle awareness, trigger control, things of that nature. I never had to worry about this one time because it was set up and ready to go. Guys, as I say every time, take a kid shooting, take a kid hunting, take a kid fishing. Time to get out of this range. It's been a good day. It's chilly. Peace out.